I'm welcoming you all tonight to this wonderful gallery space on Cork Street. We're so lucky to be able to be here tonight in Cork Street because, as some of you may know, Cork Street is being redeveloped. This will be our penultimate, the gallery, Cynthia Corbett Gallery's penultimate exhibition on Cork Street, at least for the foreseeable future, and hopefully we'll be able to come back here in 2016 when the development is finished. So it's really a fitting place to host Deborah Azzopardi's first solo exhibition in her hometown of London. We're really proud to be having this exhibition. I don't want to start crying, but it's very, very, very special. The work that you're seeing here in the gallery is a culmination of work that Deborah has done over the past 10 years, although her practice is longer, and which you will discover during the conversation later. But it's very, very exciting. We have work from 2004 to 2014, and everything from very small, intimate drawings to very large, new, bold paintings that Deborah has just produced. In the very front of the gallery, in the window, as you came in, you probably saw something called Shush. It's a very important, iconic image of Deborah. It's been published worldwide, and we thought it was, quite fitting to have that at the front of the gallery. It gives me really great pleasure to introduce both Deborah Azzopardi and esteemed art critic and journalist Estelle Lovett. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Estelle has written, amongst many other things, a critique on Deborah Azzopardi, and for the book that is being published as of tomorrow night, we have a wonderful piece in the book by Estelle. And so we thought it was really fitting for the two of them to have an conversation, which will be filmed by the lovely Christina. And I think after maybe a little while there will be questions, maybe? A few questions, depending on how they feel. But without further ado,
thank you.
Deborah and Estelle. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm really honoured to be here, surrounded by this wonderful artwork and be sat by this wonderful woman. If nobody's met Deborah before, she is as colourful, bright, with as big a personality as any of her paintings. Those of you that have met her before will agree, right? Right. She's climbed the art ladder to art success in high heels, like no other woman has ever done before. She has done more for women and the paintbrush than anybody else, and one of them is me. I think the one with her legs out of the red convertible is me. I had two convertibles many, many years ago, before child and before marriage. So I don't know, that would have been like an old Ford, I think, back in those days. So I don't know, but they remind me of my youth. So it's good to feel young again without having a facelift. Perfect. Now there's something Wonder Woman-esque about her, because while she's painting, she seems to inspire hope for everybody, not just women, but the man who fancies the woman as well, because this is all about love and falling in love. Birds and bees, yeah? Birds and bees do it, everybody does it, she paints it. And she has this knack of doing it with love, not with punches and kicks. If only feminists would take a look at Deborah Azzopardi to show you can be a woman to be equal to a man, instead of the likes of the professor of drawing from the RA, won't mention any names, Tracy, but, who seems to think that you have to do it through alcohol and sleeping with people in tents. Anyway, I'm sure that she paints, not with a paintbrush, but with a feather, because she tickles us, right? She makes us laugh. And laughter is the best aphrodisiac. So these are paintings that you will fall in love with and fall in love by. Woody Allen famously said, I think, if not, he did tonight, right, that the best place to fall in love is in an art gallery, because there you will meet your perfect partner, because you share an interest in the most important thing of all, which is art. So please, if you're single, buy a painting tonight, and then buy it and take it home. You know, it's a long-term love affair. Lots of people, actually, in your home, you've probably got a Deborah Azzopardi greeting card at home. I'm sure you've all got the sunflowers and the hay wain and the water lily pond, but more people have probably got an Azzopardi. So they are you, they are me, they are a gift from the artist, and I want to know, how do you do it? How do you start? You've got not your feather, you've got your paintbrush in your hand. How do you start?
I just think of it and I just paint it.
Think of what? What's it?
Something has to tickle your fancy, something has to make you smile. And if it makes you smile, I only paint what I like. And if I like it and someone else likes it, that's great. But I just paint what I like.
But you paint the subject matter, and it's almost like going to the cinema, or it's almost even more than that. I mean, the most famous portrait in the world has to be the Mona Lisa. This is today's Mona Lisa, right? It's true. This is today's Mona Lisa. So, you know, you're very humble, Leonardo.
Well, it's just fun. It just comes from a sense of fun.
It's just
just a sense of fun, and it's no more than that. If it's fun, if it's quirky, if it makes me smile, it's as simple as a smile. And then you add to it and you develop it and you think, yeah, that's good. And you just carry on. You're lost in that painting. So it's almost an accident in a sense, but because it's not planned in that way. It's just something that's nice. It's very simple. It's just nice.
And it's a very British sense of humour. You know, this almost. So Liechtenstein, America famously has Liechtenstein, and we've got Azzopardi, and it's very British humour. It's distinctly that slap and tickle, kiss me quick, on the pier, carry on type film. Those of you that are familiar with that will know when I say I'm sitting on the throne, will realise, yes.
But it's a moment. It's a moment in time that you can capture and paint, and it like a photograph, but it's not a photograph because I like pictures that move. I like things to move on a canvas, to move on a picture, and it is just a moment.
And like the Impressionists, capturing a fleeting moment in time.
It's all moments.
But you work from real models, don't you? You don't work from photographs.
These are all my family, my friends.
So round here, this is your family and friends.
Yeah. So these are all people
that you know,
that I've known, that I've asked, or I've approached, or objects that I like, or that I have, or that I bought, or something that I think I could develop from something. And there's no reason for liking it other than it makes you smile.
They do make you smile, and that's the wonderful thing. I mean, to me, these are much more powerful and potent than homeopathic medicine. You know,
you need a homeopathic pill and to look at the picture.
Well,
and then it'll work. You need both. Yeah.
They're very humorous. The colours stand out. I mean, ideally, you'd want to have own a whole room of your paintings, not just the one, but a whole room, because each one is like a film, like a storyboard. So it's like they remind me of when Harry met Sally, when it's I'll have what she's having, you know, in Delhi, the Cat's Deli scene.
But it's all that.
Yeah, and The Graduate as well with Dustin Hoffman.
But they're just moments that maybe we know those lines, but here they are immortalised, but in my way, and they're not necessarily taken from films, but we're inspired by everything.
We're inspired by everything.
The inspiration will just come in that moment.
But even art history, you know, if we delve back into art history and we see how the female has been depicted, mainly by men. So we've got Manet's Olympia, which is of the prostitute, very seductive, but a bit saucy, a bit threatening, looking at the viewer as the customer. And then we've got that lovely Fragonard painting of the swing, and she's Nicholas, by the way. So,
but these are women and men that are wanting to do this. This is my interpretation, but just of the moment. But they're there, they're bold, they're out there, they're happy to do it.
Yeah, but your forefathers are the greats in art history. You know, you are creating a new tradition. You are changing the course of art history by repainting Manet's Olympia, Fragonard's The Swing. You know,
We'll see.
huh?
We'll see.
Well, we do see. We see it here. You know, and they are Nicholas, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've done it your way, and the colours fascinate me. And also, when you look at the paintings, you will see they may look flat, okay, and that's the trick, because they're not. You go up close, stick your nose up against it. There's no alarms here, are there?
No.
And you will see the brush marks, you will see the brush strokes, you will see the paint applied on it really beautifully. And
Very sweet.
I find your colours amazing, because I immediately recognise an Azzopardi painting from a distance, you know. Yves Klein had his blue, International Yves Klein blue. Azzopardi has hers,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah. But I love that blue. I love it.
Tell me about your blue. I mean, how do you mix?
But it's the same. It just speaks. That's exactly it behind you. Yes, completely. That's the one. It's my favourite colour. It's just colour.
But your colours, how do you
Colours
do?
slightly-
How?
Paint. You mix it. Big bowl. Pour it into a tub. Keep it. Screw top lid, and that's it. There's no formula, but you have to remember what part to what part. But I'm working in massive quantities. These are big paintings. So you want it to be even. It has to be right. Sometimes I can use a colour exactly as it is, and sometimes it's just not. And sometimes you just play with it to make it the colour you want. And I don't even know how I've got it. It just looked right.
It's magic.
So, yes. But it's like cooking. You do the same with cooking. You can learn with it. That's enough salt. That's enough pepper. That'll do.
How do you have
So-
enough time to cook when you're
No.
painting?
No.
Yeah, because you must be painting every day.
I paint every single day. Yeah, I paint every day, and I cook every day. And like, yes, it's true. Chicken is really a pain.
Chicken is a
it's
pain.
really a pain.
Okay.
So
Your use of light I find fascinating, because it's almost as if there's a torchlight behind the paintings. They're so fluorescent. They almost have this medieval stained glass church-like spiritual quality to them. How do you manage
but
to
that's a
achieve
combination
that?
of how if you put a skin tone with yellow, it's going to be dull. If you use
Oh yeah, secrets.
You know, but it is. It's just it's what colour you put with colour. So,
Yeah.
for example, that blue will stand up more with the red. Yes,
Yes.
there is the blue with the pale
Yes.
blue and the white and just some accent of red nails. So it's just the combination that you use and how much skin tone is going with that background colour. So,
But that takes a real skill. So your skill
but I
you
don't think of
acquired.
that. It's just something. I just think, oh, that's nice. I'll do that blue, or that's nice. I'll do that red, or pink would look good. You know, you just know what's going to work. I don't even openly think about it. It's just I'll use that.
So it's instinctive,
Completely.
but it's very emotional, and it's also very intellectual. The compositions are perfect. An inch to the left or right, and the compositions would fail. They're academically perfect. Where did you?
Well, that's just an accident. I mean, that's just a complete accident. No, I mean, but everyone's made a certain way. We all have shoulder blades in the same kind of place, and kneecaps where kneecaps should be, and you have to put it that way. You can't put something where it shouldn't be. So you sort of know that's the skeleton, that's how it's going to be. So if I get it right, that's really lucky. So I don't. It's just how it's meant to be. It makes sense. It has to make sense. So although it's pop art, the right line has to be in the right place. It can't be in the wrong place because then it looks wrong. And sometimes I painted things and it does look wrong, and I think, hey, that looks right. So I mean, there's no reason. Even an accident can be good. You know, it's the way it can work. And even if it doesn't make sense on a skeleton, if I'm doing figurative, it can still be okay because it's pop art.
Well, I mean, but
to me,
yes.
maybe not to everyone else, but I think that's okay.
Well, I think they're more than okay, but perfect line. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, perfect line. No, your composition and your line is absolutely superb. You know, any thicker, any narrower, it wouldn't work. And the way that you contain them, the colours with the black, is like looking at a stained glass window in a magnificent church.
I've just got a steady hand, and you're so engrossed that it's easy to do. You don't even think about it. It's just something you're doing, and you've got the right balance. You're standing still. I paint standing up all the time. I never sit down, and so it's easy for me. It's not difficult because you get used to doing. You know, the line's going boom, 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 and that's the line. And you have to get it right. Actually, you can't get it wrong on those lines because it will mark and it leaves a mess. you can't use water on it, it won't come off, the sun's drying it quickly, you know.
Chicken's cooking.
The chicken's cooking, you know, potatoes need putting on, so you do it. But other things, those kind of lines are very different from when you're doing curly hair. Curly hair, I like messy curly hair. I don't like everything even and placed and everything neat. And curly hair is fun, and sometimes I think, good, now I'll do the hair. And it's, you know, and it's different. It's a different kind of technique. But it is still, I guess, a perfect line. But it's a perfect messy line. But it's meant to be.
So yours is Azzopardi colour. So we talked about the Eve Klein blue.
Yes,
You've got Azzopardi blue.
Yes.
You've got your Azzopardi line.
Yes.
And I'm sure, you know, Renoir famously said when he painted women, he said, I don't paint with a paintbrush, I paint with my, begins with a P, okay? And I'm sure that Deborah Azzopardi must have taken that paintbrush baton and run with it. She is the Emily Pankhurst of the art world. She's done more for women, you know, than other artists have. Now, this, as I said, is today's Mona Lisa. Okay, this shush painting. And of course the trend today, because everybody wants to be up on the next big thing, we are making history tonight by being part of the next big thing. Now, the selfie, okay, Nelson Mandela's selfie, Obama's selfie at Nelson Mandela's memorial service, yes, and Ellen's selfie at the Oscars. All right, I want everybody to do that. I'm going to take my selfie. Okay, we're going to tweet it. Okay, come on. This is the Mona Lisa today, please.
So you all have to show.
Ready? Come on.
So count them in. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 1 minute. Hang on. Oh, you're all nice and quiet. Oh, that's good. Wait a minute. Right, ready?
Would you like us to poke our tongues out?
No, she's not poking her tongue,
Right,
she's just shushing it.
Okay, I'm going to tweet that later.
Everyone tweet it, retweet.
It's gonna go
Because
viral.
we're having another party. Seriously, I'm glad that you're all here. You've all got the paintings to look at. There's a fantastic coffee table art book, which is out
It's really wonderful.
Tomorrow?
It'll be here tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Yes, it's
And I
really
think
nice.
it's got a wonderful forward.
It's got the most amazing forward.
And it's got a limited
really
edition
wonderful.
print.
Yes.
Has anybody got any questions? Because I talk all the time about art. My husband hates it, I think. So
We all talk about art.
Huh?
We all talk
Yeah.
about art. It just
Has
happens.
anybody got any questions? Yes.
Estelle talked quite rightly about the Britishness of the humour and the Britishness of the art, but there's obviously a link, shall we say, to Liechtenstein and the American tradition of pop art as well. How did the Americans react to what you're doing?
I think that question has to be for Cynthia, because Cynthia takes the paintings are shown a lot in America, in Miami and Palm Beach, Hampton. So, and I'm not there, so Cynthia's there.
I'll just say that the first time we ever showed Deborah in America, one of her originals was in New York in 2008. And literally, people were coming on the stand and just, they were just breathless. And from that moment on, wherever we showed Deborah's work, the reaction was always, wow, positive, I love it. You know, and she, so we built on that, and Deborah's in some of the largest private collections now in America. And hanging with, as she should be, with Warhol, with Liechtenstein, with other, you know, really famous post-war artists. She's in their club, quite rightly. More questions?
More questions?
May I ask a silly question? I'm intrigued at the acrylics, and I wonder what brushes you use.
I use the brushes that I make called Pro Art. I use all of them.
Very
So-
big ones,
Sorry?
large.
Very large, very small, some that I really shouldn't use. And at the end of the day, or when I finished it, you know how hairs go, and so I just chuck it behind me. At the end of the week, there's a pile, and I go through a lot of brushes, but I think it's important to always use the right brush. It makes a very big difference that you get to know your brushes. I buy a lot at a time, really a lot. I buy a couple of hundred in one go because I use them a lot. I use them very easily. If I do, I just chuck them behind. Sorry?
They're deductible.
Hope so. My accountant's here, we can ask him.
These are also, apart from references to cinema and film, so like the Graduate and When Harry Met Sally, also very musical. You know, each colour is like a musical note, and the paintings sing and vibrate. Those of you that suffer from synesthesia, you're lucky tonight, because you look at the paintings and you'll hear the most wonderful tunes coming from them. And this really is an exceptional series of paintings. Size matters. Sorry,
matters.
Size does matter.
Size really
Yeah,
does
yeah.
matter.
These
The bigger
are
the better.
huge. There we are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, these are huge.
Yeah.
And do you take commission? How do you pick your models? Do you take commissions?
Tell us a bit about your models. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I want to hear about your
Yeah.
models.
You know, who they can, you know, your daughters, my daughter,
Well,
you know.
a lot of my family are instantly my models, and also my friends. But I choose who I want.
I'm your friend.
You're my friend, I'll do you. So everybody has a part of them. You just have to find the part. But the part that you like, the part that talks to you. But everybody has something. You know, you're like the ankles of that one, the legs of that
So
one.
do you say to people, can you take your trousers off?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes I don't, and sometimes I just undress them because.
With your eyes?
Yeah, because
Yes.
you know, with your paintbrush, because
Yes.
you know how it's
She
going to
can
be.
see you.
And you know how it's going to be, and everyone's different. But I like real people, not models.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, models are real people, but you like
no,
real
I don't like
in the
like
flesh.
really thin
No,
models that
no.
would be in an agency or something.
Yeah.
I like in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
flesh, real people that are properly made. You know.
Yes,
That,
yes.
You know, and then I think that's what makes the paintings. They're just real, you know, everyday people. That's not their job. You know, and everybody has something in them that's nice.
Well, you capture it on canvas, and as I say, on the throne.
And furniture as well.
Yeah, yeah. No, this is lovely. Absolutely.
It's fun.
And you
It's
can
really
tickle.
fun. Yeah, it's
Tickle
good
her
fun.
feet. Any other questions?
Any more questions?
Interestingly, I often don't see many faces. They're cropped out, generally. But you convey a lot with the body language. It's almost as though I know the
Body
person
language is
without seeing the
everything.
face.
Yes, yes. You don't need a face. I do sometimes do faces. It depends what I'm painting. They're not here, but the body can say a lot. And a face gives away expression, mood, everything. But they're just not here, that's all. There's body parts here. There's a lot of figurative work here. I don't just do figurative, but
There's
there
a
is
lot
a lot
of
of
personality
figurative.
here.
It's quite noisy, isn't it? It's quite, I mean, I look up and gosh, I mean, it is. You know, an artist never sees their work unwrapped or unpacked. It's packaged, it's sent, it's shipped, it's cargo. You know, you never see it like this, ever. So for me, I walk around and think, wow, that's noisy. I must be insane. Because you just don't see things hung like this. Never, not in your studio. It's, you know, one's done, that's it. You can smile, you know, it starts its own journey.
Make a wish.
Sorry?
Make a wish.
Do you want me to say the wish? Just
Depend.
nothing, just
It's
carry
your
on,
choice.
carry on, carry on. Nothing, it's nice.
Deborah's been dubbed the Queen of Pop Art as well, so long may she reign.
Oh,
Yeah.